Yes. This is part two of my other video called "The Big Agenda and Picture." So this is the second part of "The Big Agenda and Picture," part two. What I left off, I was talking about, the people who are in charge of this world and yada yada yada. It just is what it is. Now I want to talk about this whole concept of selling one's soul. Now, I've heard so many theories about people saying that, oh, you got to sell one soul and all that stuff in order for you to reach to the next level. In my honest opinion, is that true? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You have to sell one soul, so-called soul, in order for you to reach to the next level of your career. Like say for example, it doesn't matter. Like say for example, if you're into music and sports and entertainment and all that stuff, in order for you to reach the next level, you have to do certain things behind closed doors, which I've heard. Some people say that, it's a so-called blood sacrifice, or do certain seance or writing your name in blood and all that stuff. Listen, first things first, in my honest opinion, if you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. But be mindful, in my honest opinion, if you have to sign something in blood, you're taking a huge risk and a huge gamble. Because I don't think it's worth it. Because think about it, if you sign your name in blood, in human blood, contract in human blood, I don't think it's worth it. Because that is a blood contract. Listen, see, this is why I say that when it comes to religion, I say that religion is important in people's lives because it gives you a moment of clarity when it comes to spiritual practices. Because blood is very powerful. There's magical. How can I put this? When it comes to blood, it holds magical properties, and if you have the ability to harness magic through that blood, it'll give you certain magical abilities. This is why they say that blood is very powerful because it has the ability to harness certain magical abilities or magical components. And if you have to sign your name in blood, I don't think it's worth it because you're dealing with otherworldly entities, otherworldly powers that a normal human might not be able to handle nor control. So be mindful of that if you want to sign your name in blood. And also, I've heard situations that, like when it comes to the music industry, like there's certain doors. And what they mean by doors, they're talking about, other things that you have to do in order for you to reach to the next level. I've heard about that as well. I don't think it's doors, but there's just certain things that you have to do in order for you to reach to the next level of your career. And I don't know what they are, but I've heard rumors that what they have to do behind closed doors is pretty deep and dark. It is pretty damn deep and dark. But hey, it's none of my business. That's their life, so let them do what they got to do. And this is why I say that, don't knock religion completely. Because like I said before, religion is a gateway or a pathway to know, to give you some sense of clarity of spiritual works and spiritual acts. You get what I'm saying? It gives you some common knowledge to let you know that this world is filled with good spirits and bad spirits. Like there's good magic and then there's bad magic. You get what I'm saying? It gives you clarity on the power of light. It basically gives you awareness on people who practice witchcraft and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? But I've also heard that when it comes to being a witch or a warlock, I've heard that, that you have good witches and bad witches. Because I realize in this world, it's up to the person to wield certain properties, whether it's good energy or good magic, or whether it's bad energy or bad magic. It all depends on the individual. It all depends on the person. You get what I'm saying? It all depends on the individual and the person. But we all have to be aware on what we do and what we say to each other, and also upon ourselves. But I disregard on that, man. But going back to to selling one's soul, um, yeah, like they said before, man. Like there's certain doors that you have to go through. Basically, ritualistic practices or whatever, or and also what they mean by selling one's soul. They're actually talking about, are you willing to sign the contract, not in blood, but to sign the contract to do their bidding. You know what I'm saying? Basically making you as their puppet. And for the most part, there are a lot of puppets in this world. I say it again. Listen, to the average person that's listening to this video right now, they have their puppets in the industry. The industry has a big agenda. And with that agenda is being pushed by these puppets. You see these puppets all throughout social media and also on television. Now I'm gonna be real with you right now. I'm gonna say it right now. What's that nigga name? Yes, because he's a nigga. He's a half breed. What's his name? The Top G. Yeah, that dude. Whatever his name is, he's a puppet. Same thing with Alex Jones. He's a puppet. A lot of these people, man, they're puppets. Especially Top G. Motherfuckers like him, he's a puppet. And there's many more puppets out there too, man. They pretend that, they out here to help the people, but in actuality, they're just pushing the agenda. You know what I'm saying? They basically, so-called sold their souls for the agenda. But they didn't really sell their souls technically. They just basically pledged their allegiance and they're doing they're doing the elite agenda. You know what I'm saying? They just selling off their integrity, selling off their integrity and their character for fame and money and all that stuff. So just be aware of these puppets that you see on social media, because the same motherfuckers that talks about, talk about not selling one's soul, those are the ones that actually sold their souls, but not in blood, but they sold their character and their integrity for a particular agenda, for fame and money and all that stuff. See, I realize, man, what you see, listen, this whole world that we live in, man, is nothing more than a movie. It's nothing more than a fucking movie. What you see, what's happening to Top G, him going to jail and all that stuff, that's just a script. It's just a fucking movie. And I can give you one good example. What's that movie, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3? Remember that so-called, remember when I told you about, I think one of my videos, that they give you hints and clues about what's really going on in this world, and what's really going on in this world? Okay, in the movie Iron Man 3, there was this so-called terrorist that was making videos talking about he gonna do this and that to the people and all that stuff. But once Iron Man, I think I'm trying to remember what happened in the movie. But once Iron Man realized his location, he realized that the so-called Muslim dude wasn't really a Muslim. He was just a regular guy pretending to be some type of Muslim terrorist, and he was going to terrorize them. He was going to terrorize certain towns and all that stuff. It was all a lie. And Iron Man confronted him and said, "Are you really a terrorist?" And he said, "No. It's all based on the script. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an actor. It's all a lie." Remember when I told you that they're giving you hints and clues about what's really going on in the world? In Iron Man 3, they're basically showing you. They're showing you how Iron Man basically exposed that so-called terrorist that was making videos, talking about he's going to destroy this city and destroy that city. It was all a ruse. And what they just said in Iron Man 3 is based on what's going on right now. Like, for example, Top G. It's all a script. It's all a movie. What's going on right now, what you see on the news, a lot of that shit that you see in the news is not real. I won't say not all of it, but some of that stuff that you see in the news is fake. Some of the headlines that you see in social media, like celebrity news and all that stuff, you know some of that shit is fake. Some of the marriages, yes, that's why some of the celebrity marriages that you see, it's not really real. It's all contractual. Don't you like these relationships and these marriages? It's all contractual. The only reason why they together is because they try to stay face towards the people, you know what I'm saying, try to give a facade because everybody knows that a lot of those people in Hollywood that's a part of these relationships and marriages, they live a double life. They have double lives. Half of those people that are in these so-called relationships and marriages, they live double lives, and that's all I gotta say about that. I'm not gonna go way too deep into it, but they live double lives. They living in this false narrative about them being married and all this stuff, having relationships. It's all fake. It's all a facade. But like going like I said before, this whole world is a script, and you got actors like Top G and all these other dudes that you see on social media talking about, oh, I can make you rich, and they would so-called give like lectures about like not selling your soul and all that stuff. You don't have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the stuff that they could be saying could be genuine, but for the most part, they are still a part of the agenda. And the only reason why they're giving you certain good gems is because they doing that to alleviate their karma, because they know that deep down they are part of the agenda as well. The people that you read in history books, this is why Michael Jackson said what you read in history books, a lot of that stuff is a lie. Look at the word history. His story. He's telling you his side of the story, and that's it. Because everybody knows that the people that win the wars write the history books. The victors of the wars always write history books. They always talk about their side of the story, and that's it. They're not going to tell you the whole truth. You get what I'm saying? Because if they tell the whole truth, about certain wars and all that stuff, they begin to okay, I'm trying to put this in so many words. If they decided to put the whole truth within history, their whole story will be debunked. You get what I'm saying? Because they told so many lies throughout the years. That's why the term history is very strong, because they're telling you his side of the story and that's it. They're not giving you the whole truth. They're just telling you one side of the truth and that's it. Because they won the war. They won the battle. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. We have to be mindful of what we say and what we do. And you have to connect the dots like Steve Coakley to what's really going on. And for the most part, this whole world is nothing more than a story. It's nothing more than a fictional movie. That's what it is. It's a fictional movie, man. It's nothing more than a big-ass movie, and everybody that's a part of the agenda have roles to play. That includes celebrities, that includes politicians and all that shit, man. It's all a fucking role. It's all a big-ass movie. But it's up to the regular people who are aware of what's going on is to crack the illusion. Is to crack the genjutsu. Is to break the illusion down to really focus on what's really going on. But that's all I gotta say, man. And this is just my opinion. This is all my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I'm just giving out my 2 cents. And if you don't like it, please get the fuck off my channel. And that's all I gotta say about that, man. That's all I gotta say. I might make a part 3. I don't know, but that's all I gotta say. So yeah, man. So thank you so much, and have a good day.